The new Dirty Harry 4K Steelbook is out. Do you feel lucky?
I know what you're thinking.
Welcome back to HMP. My name is Adam, and even though Warner Brothers has been putting out some really solid 4Ks as of late, upgrading always just kind of seems like a bit of a gamble with catalog titles from nearly any company. Did the studio actually care and do a new scan of a 35mm print, or even better, a 35mm negative, scan it at a high bit rate and do some restoration? Or did they just dump out an old 2K dupe onto a 4K disc, slap some new cheap artwork on it, and send it on its way to dum-dums like me, who'll just pop it into the 4K player only wanting to jump out of a window 10 seconds later when they realize how bad the movie looks? I'm looking at you, Lionsgate. Sadly, it's more often the latter, but it is becoming more of a trend that studios are taking care of these new releases. And to me, that's really important as far as film restoration and preservation is key to keeping art at its best state possible. And I think Warner Brothers is doing a great job here. And the best state possible is how I would describe the new release of Dirty Harry on 4K, directed by Don Siegel. And I want to talk a little bit about the movie itself and then get into how the discs look and stuff like that, and if I think you should pick up this cop classic on 4K. But before we do that, do me a huge favor and hit that like and subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can know when new videos drop. You know Dirty Harry, now be a dirty baby and leave a comment down below and let me know if you think this is worth that 4K upgrade and what the best 4K upgrade you've seen lately. Let's get into it. Here's the IMDb plotline for Dirty Harry. As we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. When a man calling himself the Scorpio Killer menaces San Francisco, Tough as Nails Police Inspector Dirty Harry Callahan is assigned to track down the crazed psychopath. Wow, good job, IMDb. I can't believe it. Dirty Harry was written by Harry and Rita Fink and Dean Reisner, who likely did a large number of rewrites for that and credit, with uncredited punch-ups going to the likes of Terrence Malick and John Milius, who obviously gave us the famous 45 Magnum speech. It's directed by Don Siegel, who did Riot in Cell Block 11, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, The Shootist, Birdman from Alcatraz with Eastwood, and of course many more. This, of course, is starring Clint Eastwood, Andrew Robinson. Not that one. There you go. Harry Guardian Reno Santini is Harry's new partner, who Seinfeld fans will probably know as Poppy, and John Vernon as the mayor. And just for the record, there'll be more Clint Eastwood Seinfeld connections to come in later films. Stay tuned for that one. Now, Dirty Harry is kind of the turning point for cop films. Dirty Harry is the template to nearly every cop movie or TV show for the last 50 years. That hard-nosed cop that plays by his own rules was christened with the name Dirty Harry. Now, if you've never seen Dirty Harry, you might think it to be a bit rote, a bit slow for modern times and everything, and I'll be honest with you, that's how I saw this movie the first time when I was probably around the age of 17 or something, and at 17, I had seen a lot of the movies and stuff that were a derivative of Dirty Harry, but didn't really know much better. But if you can put aside all the cop films that you've seen post-1971, turn off that I've already seen this brain, and if you really take the time to look, Dirty Harry is kind of a masterpiece. The killer in Dirty Harry calls himself the Scorpio Killer, a very easy leap from the real-life Zodiac Killer who happened to be terrorizing the same San Francisco area in 1968 through 1969. And that's exactly what the filmmakers are doing in this movie. They're taking that modern-day serial killer, just translating them to the silver screen to reflect the new fears in society faced post-Manson family era and everything, the remnants of which would seem to likely be hanging behind every door there. So this movie really kind of pushed on those fears. And that's where Dirty Harry lives, a monument to the changing times and a template from which most modern cop movies would actually end up deriving. The opening scene where Harry Callahan is on his lunch break at a diner, he has to stop a bank robbery. barely has time to finish his hot dog while he's swinging around his .45 Magnum, taking out the criminals one by one, not even ducking for cover. This may be the coolest cucumber of them all, man. This, of course, is where we get the oh-so-famous "This is a .45 Magnum" speech, which was absolutely written by John Milius and would be later reprised in the movie. This is Harry's kind of like Ezekiel 25:17, a little something that he brings to the party on special occasions, as it were. It's 1971, and this is the first kind of flick to do this thing, so you'll forgive a movie if it isn't wall-to-wall action set pieces, but the pieces that they do have are pretty awesome. Eastwood takes us from the West that he dominated with his spaghetti westerns and transfers all of that cool into Harry Callahan. Eastwood's always had a presence, and Harry Callahan, of course, is no exception. That grizzled, tan, wrinkled, angular face, all Eastwood has to do is squint to the camera, and it's an amazing performance. Just sparse dialogue, any of that's just icing on the cake. It's all bolstered by the great Don Siegel's direction and Bruce, the Prince of Darkness, Surtees' cinematography, which really just kind of flows hand in hand to create this kind of bleak look at San Francisco and everything. Now, I haven't seen Dirty Harry in quite some time, and I was excited to actually check in with the movie in this 4K release. I liked it even more than I had before. I think age, of course, and film maturity certainly having their hands in the mix of that. They scanned this sucker at 8K, and brother, let me tell you, is it ever sharp. But if you're like me and, you know, your spidey senses started going off when you heard that and you started screaming, wait a minute, is this more like Terminator or Terminator 2? Well, it's like the aliens and stuff. Still feels organic and real. Surtees' dark cinematography is definitely there. The HDR with this light and everything gives you that great backlight when the silhouettes... Surtees' dark cinematography is still very much there, the HDR giving you the light when you really need it, and a good bit of the black silhouettes and murky blacks that you need when you're guessing as to like what's going on, what are you seeing and stuff. And as odd as it sounds, you see a lot more with less. That is to say, the transfer's quite good. And so is the soundtrack. As you might imagine, in 1971, Dirty Harry was originally presented in plain old boring mono. And also, as you might imagine, having a mono soundtrack in a 4K disc isn't something everyone is going to be into. So the folks over at Warner Brothers have done that and created a new Dolby Atmos mix for Dirty Harry. But here's what I found really cool about this new Atmos track and everything. It's still very mono heavy, but tons of surround and Atmos in it. I know that doesn't sound like it makes a lot of sense, but follow me here. What they've done here is really clever, and I would hope that more studios would start taking this approach. They've left the feeling of the mono soundtrack, but not only is the dialogue coming out of the center channel as per usual, but many of the other sounds from the movie emanate kind of from the center channel, but the rest of the bed layer channels and speakers are still giving you quite an active offering for it and everything. And there's a ton of support. It just feels like they're lifting up the center channel. It's tough to explain. Tons of special features on this bad boy. We've got over 4 hours of them, including an audio commentary by movie critic Richard Schickel. It's all right. Generations as Dirty Harry, that's about 6 minutes long. Lensing Justice, the cinematography of Dirty Harry. American Masters career retrospective. Clint Eastwood, Out of the Shadows, that's like 90 minutes long. Clint Eastwood, The Man from Malapaso, that's an hour-long thing. Clint Eastwood cinematic. See, it just goes on and on. Tons of special features there, most of them pretty good. Overall, I would absolutely recommend Dirty Harry on 4K. This steelbook is sold out right now. Quite frankly, I'm shocked I got a copy of it myself. But the standard 4K is out right now, and I think very much worth the upgrade. Certainly a recommendation if you've never seen this movie before. Did you get to pick up Dirty Harry on 4K? Let me know in the comments below, as well of the other Eastwood films that you'd like to see released in 4K. I got a ton of those other Eastwood westerns and stuff coming out in 4K, and I'm working my way through those, so reviews coming on those very soon. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm a small channel, and the fact that you've stopped by and stuck around for this long really means a lot. Be a dirty baby, leave a comment below, and we'll see you in the next one. Lunch break at a diner, he has to stop a bank robbery, and he barely finishes. I gotta belch. Ugh.